We saw capital costs drop significantly in the end of 2008 and 2009 as labor became more available and materials became more available. And that cuts across construction, furniture, technology, a lot of different areas. We've seen that flatten out, and maybe it's stabilized now. It could increase ever so slightly, but I would say in Southern California it's stabilized for 2012. We definitely saw clients try to limit the amount of capital costs that they needed to spend, but what we're seeing a trend towards now is people trying to reduce their overall occupancy costs and their square footage. So they are investing in capital costs in order to shed square footage, improve the productivity of their workspace, and create standards that are more relevant for today's work environment. Sustainable practices really took foothold in the reduction of energy costs. When landlords and tenants started to see their bottom line impacted by reduced energy costs, there became a passion towards sustainable and energy savings designs. California's always led the way. We had Title 24, which already reduced energy consumption. We've got the Cal Green laws coming into effect. I think the next evolution is sustainable design is going to become a part of everyday practice. It's not going to be something special that we talk about. We've already seen a change from the initial impact was 5 to 10% increased cost over a project if you implemented sustainable design practices. We've seen that completely dissipate to where sustainable design practices are no longer a premium to a project. So I think like the Americans with Disability Act was something special and added cost to a project a few years ago, it's now a normal part of our practice, and I think sustainable design will be a normal part of every project moving forward. Workplace strategies vary from client to client depending on their brand and their culture. We find the most successful strategies are when we really dive into our client's organization, not only from a top down but from a bottoms up, to really understand how the organization works and breathes. And we try to align that business with what their new physical environment will be. But the strategy also depends on how much change an organization can tolerate. Some organizations just need to continue at a certain pace. Others want to make sweeping changes to make statements about where they're headed as a business and how they're changing their culture. We see as overarching trends a trend towards collaborative spaces, the increase of collaborative spaces. The idea of face-to-face interaction produces better ideas, more ideas. To find that space, we're seeing individual workstations be reduced, individual offices be reduced. There's less need for storage, for paper storage. It's become more electronic. And that space is then able to go into collaborative spaces such as cafes, formal meeting rooms, informal team rooms, touchdown space, places where people can interact spontaneously. We're also seeing less focus on the generational worker and trying to satisfy individual needs, but more trying to get to the emotion of the worker and to engage the worker in the environment as well as the work that they're creating. We find that helps the organization retain top talent as well as attract new talent.